Have you read a great story or listened to a great story and want to share with your friends and classmates what you think about it? Well, let's learn how using Biblionasium. So what you're going to want to do is come over and click Log In. Now remember, when you log in, it's going to be your lunch number for your username and your lunch number for your password. Once you type those in, click Submit. Now I'm logged in, and I can tell because I see my name here. Your name will display when you log in. Next, I'm going to come over, and I like to call this button the hamburger because it has almost like two buns and a piece of meat in the middle. So I'm going to click on my hamburger, and I'm going to go down until I see Biblionasium. I'm going to click on Biblionasium. Now, once I'm there, I am in a whole new world. I can read book reviews here that other people have posted. I can get suggestions about books. There's one. That looks really cool. You may even find some book reviews by some of our own students hosted on this main page. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to want to pick an avatar. So you'll click on Pick an Avatar. And you can pick a picture that kind of represents who you are. Once you find a picture, you're going to click on it, and that becomes your avatar. Now, today we're going to look at how we can start a book review. Now, first, before we can start a book review, we have to add a book to our collection. So you click on My Books. So I'm going to need to add some of my favorite books to my bookshelf. The story that I want to add is Martina the Beautiful Cockroach. So I'm going to type that in. When I find my book, I can add it to my shelf. When I add it to my shelf, I will select if I am reading it, if I've read it. If I have read it, I want to read it, or I own it. With this book, I have read it. So I'm going to check I have read it. And it will add it to my shelf. Now, the next thing I want to do is I want to review the book. So I'll click the Review tab. Now, when I review a book, I have to decide how many stars. I really like Martina the Beautiful Cockroach, so I'm going to give it 5 stars. And I would say this is one of my favorites. Only check that if you love this book and it's one of your absolute favorite books. My opinion of the book is this book was awesome. And I think other people would like this book if they like stories that are about animals. There were a lot of animals in this story. Now, when I write my review, I need to tell a few things about the book. I need to tell something interesting about the book. I also need to talk about the setting and some of the main characters. So I'm going to do that. This book was about a young cockroach named Martina. She is looking for a husband. A lot of different animals visit her and try to win her, but she uses the coffee test to find the right one. The main characters in the story are Martina, her grandmother, and the little mouse. Now, a personal note is something that only I will see. Uh-oh, I almost forgot the setting. This story is a Cuban folktale. It takes place in a small Cuban village where Martina lives. Okay, so My book review includes a description of the characters. It talks about what happens in the story, but I don't give away the ending. And it talks about where the story takes place. So I'm ready to save my book review. And when I want to take a look at the books that I've read, I can always click on my books. And there's Martina, and there is my rating. How fun is that? I can also recommend this book to a friend. No one's recommended a book to me yet, but I want to recommend a book to somebody. So I would like to recommend Martina to someone. So I'm going to click on Martina, and I'm going to recommend it. So here I can pick a friend to recommend the book to. These are my friends that are in my class. So you can pick a friend that you would recommend a book to, and then you can check the box as to why you'd recommend this. I like this book, and I hope you will too. And you can send your recommendation. And maybe you'll even get recommendations. You can click on my recommendations and see what other people have recommended to you. You can always click home and read more suggestions for books you might like. I hope you enjoyed learning more about Biblionasium. You can always review the books you'll be listening to in story time. Bye, boys and girls.